We won't do team news first. We'll do new signing first, if that's all right. How long's Richie Myler been on the radar?
Quite a while. A list of you always got to. We've covered this before. There's always a fluid list of players that you keep an eye on, and we've been looking at him for quite some time. But just in recent months, started that negotiation with him and started chatting to him and see if he would work for us. And it did. His bit was always he wanted to come to Leeds, and that was a big thing. He wanted to play for us, and he's got better offers, and that's something. It's almost like a cliche sometimes. I think most clubs always say that. They say, well, they had better offers. We did have better offers, but he wanted to come to us. He made it extremely clear, and just kept repeating it that he just wanted to come to us, and that was a big thing. Ian Labour's just walked in and he's late, and that's £50 fine.
What's he going to bring to the club on the field?
Well, I'll let you decide that. I'm not going to make any big moments, predictions, or outlandish statements about what he's going to do. You know what type of player he is. He's full of energy, got a lot, massive support game, and maturing as he gets older. I think as he was younger, he was purely a support type player and a bit of an athlete. And as he gets older, he's becoming more of a controller, more of a seven. So, you know how good a player he is. He's been around the game for a long while now, and still a standout. And even though he's in a Catalan team which is struggling at the moment, he's still standing up and gaining some headlines himself. It's not easy. It's not an easy job that, to be an half-back in a team that's on the back foot all the time. Yet he's still having some moments where you look at it and go, I like that, it's good that. When he comes to us, we'll have some fun together, I'm sure.
Have you got an idea at this point in time who his half-back partner might be?
We got some plans, yes, but not for publication just yet.
Do you know what Danny Maguire's doing yet next year?
Yeah, we've got an idea, but not for publication just yet.
Any more new signings?
You've got an idea, not for publication just yet. Yeah, we're looking at a few people. Yeah.
Many or big turnover?
No, not many. No, not a big turnover. There's a few people out there that we're always looking at. We're keen not to turn things over every single season and move 6 on and let's get 6 in type of thing. We had a big turnover of players at the end of 2015, and that has taken some time to settle down and get used to.
What about the team news this week? No Danny Maguire, no Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Have you got any issues with the suspensions?
No, I don't. Jamie Jones is he's probably just a victim himself of the intensity that he plays at over such a long period of time. By no way am I justifying what he did. His shoulder made contact with Milner's jaw, and there was no injury incurred. There wasn't even any pain or discomfort incurred from Milner. The penalty in itself was something completely different, but the action in itself, it could have been dangerous. So there's not much we said. I went with Jones last night and didn't try and justify what he did, but tried to offer some explanation about why it happened. But at no stage did we say he's not guilty. Of course he was, and the infringement there, and Jones is registered that it needs to be better. And Danny was. I feel bad for him, but he swore live on TV. And kids are watching. And he's been around the traps, and he knows that anything that he shout within earshot of the referee is probably going to go out on air. I don't actually think what he said was bad, and I don't think the referee would have taken or should have taken any offence to that. He didn't shout or swear at the referee, he just swore while he was speaking. We just conceded a try, and every time you concede a try, for that 5-second period, your emotions are all over the place, just in that 5-second period. And given that it was on the situation itself, further in field, there was a questionable decision. Again, I don't want to justify what Danny did, but offer some explanation about why his head just went for that 5-second period. So I think he said something on Twitter last night, Magsy, and sent it out on Twitter, which is basically on the lines of, I shouldn't be doing that. My own kid's 3 years old. I wouldn't want him to be listening to it, so he apologised. So I think a one-game ban is justified.
Jordan Lilly has been recalled. I assume he'll slip back in, and
Yep.
you'll be more confident with the fact that he's been playing first-team rugby elsewhere.
Yeah, it's great that the process has been through at Bradford there. Jeff Tuvey's been doing a great job with him. Spent a lot of time with Jordan and giving him some almost individual coaching while he's out there. So Jordan's game's developed while he's been there. Again, it's a tough gig that Jordan's got with Bradford, who are fighting, aren't they? Tooth and nail. And he's been learning some harsh lessons. It's a specific type of game that Jordan's had to learn while he's there. And if he was at a club which is at the other end of the tree, or the other end of the ladder, sorry, he may have to play a different style. But we're happy with what Jordan's been doing, and he's progressed. And looking forward to seeing him tomorrow night.
Ash Golding, has he made it this week?
Nope. No, he hasn't. The army is just not quite there just yet. The reality with that is when he plays, it'll still be there. He may play next week, but the army will still be there. We as long as it's functional with him. And so when Jimmy Kainos gets back, we can afford to take a bit more of a pragmatic approach to it. So Jimmy Kainos then provides a centre for us. Mooney's in the half. Rob Burrow's out for 6 weeks with an operation. He's having a plate taken out of his shoulder, so we lose Rob for 6 weeks for taking the plate out. So we stretched a little bit in the halves, the centres and the fullbacks right here and now.
How much of a blow is that for Rob, because he's sort of been there or thereabouts the last few weeks?
Yeah, it will be. He is extremely disappointed, and we lose a great player, lose a lot of cover as well. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with that. But let's cross our fingers and hope it's happening. I don't know if the right time of the year is the right phrase, but it's happening. It could be a worse time of the year, couldn't it? It could be the final 6 games. We also lose Brett Ferris, who's having an op on Tuesday to clean out a knee. So we're losing for 4 weeks. And Brett Delaney's still recovering from his knee twists. Getting closer.
Going to be a test of the squad.
It is. Yeah. But we're up for it. Keen for it. Usual statements, which shouldn't affect us and all that kind of, but yeah, it's a test of the squad. And that's what we've got squads for, to test them. And let's see where we're at. Our squad got tested numerous amount of times last year, and our fringe players came in. Let's hope they're further on the track. Learn some lessons.
What about Saints? What are you expecting from them?
Every time they come to Headingley, they bring a shed load of intensity. They're like most teams this year, certainly most of the usual top end teams. They've gone through their poor patch, if you like, and I don't think I'd say they're in form, but they've certainly got some momentum behind them, and that win against Salford last week shows a bit of character there, shows a bit of fight in them, and I'm sure their cohesion and their sharpness and their timing will come. You've got to have some fight in you first, though. And that every time they come to Saints, come to Headingley, they're a team that will never lie down. So, expecting a tough battle.
Thank you, Brian.
Cheers.
Brian, some huge clashes against Saints of late. Any that stick out in the mind?
Had some massive ones, yeah. I tell you, the biggest game, one of the toughest games since I've been coach here was in 2013. We beat Saints here to then go to Wigan in the final playoff game. And I think it was it was the second playoff game we played Saints here. And I just looked at the numbers after that game, and the ball was in play for such a long period of time. There were that many players, the balls involved in the game. In terms of intensity, that was a game right up there. We was gone after that. We were jangled after that. We went to Wigan on air really and on fumes, and you know, Wigan went on and won the grand final that year. And then a couple of years ago we beat them in the semi-final to get through to the grand final here. You know, one of those nights at Headingley which I'll always remember. And again, I don't think we was in great shape, both physically and mentally, that game. I think we just beat Huddersfield in the final seconds the week before, and emotionally spiked right up there and then crashed for the few days after. And that was the moment where Kev kicked the 40-20, which got us field position, which then Callum ended up scoring the try. But that game, again, was one of those where two teams just never give anybody else any room, and it was a real tough game. And you know, they're unbelievably physically draining games, them, and they seem to be able to do that. Saints, I know they've been off the boil at times with the ball in hand this year, but I think they're a tough team. I think they're a tough club. I think they go through some tough moments, Saints, and do it well.
South Stand's coming down at the end of August. Will you be part of you sad to see it?
I didn't hear what you said.
Part of this, the South Stand's coming down at the end of August. Will part of you sad to see it come down?
It's a moment. I tell you what, it'll be a moment. Yeah, it'll be a moment. We're all, I think anybody involved at the club, and certainly I've only been here and I blink of a time really compared to a lot of people who've been working here, but there's a moment for everybody where the South Stand goes. All those people who watch from the South Stand, and I've done for years, I'm sure that'll be massive for them. But surely there's going to be some excitement as well about what's going to get put up in place of it. I mean, it looks ugly and it smells, doesn't it? If you go around it now, it's horrible. But on game day, it works. It works. It is one of those of the summer era of rugby league. It's everybody will know about the South Stand, whether you're a Leeds fan or not. They know about the South Stands at the Rhinos. So yeah, it'll be a big day that when it comes down. But lots to look forward to about what's going to go up in its place.
Brian, have you had to remind the players of their responsibilities on the field after Danny's unfortunate incident caught on camera? No, I don't think we've got a problem with that. I don't think Danny's got a problem with that. Danny's an emotional fella, and always has been. And that's what makes him get the ball in his hands when most people go the other way. That's what makes him come up with the big plays in the biggest of games. That's what makes him save this team from, saved this team from a loss on many occasions because of that emotion, because he won't turn away. When things aren't going well, he's the bloke that walks towards the ball, walks towards that tough area. You almost got to be psychotic at times to be able to do that, and he puts himself in the frame. With that, you're going to get some emotional spillover, and sometimes we see it on the field where you think, my God, he's the angriest man that's ever walked planet Earth at the moment, and his arms are going all over the place. But that's the same bloke, and it's the absolute reason why he gets the ball in his hands and comes up with the big stuff. And he'll do that for us this year. Now, last week he just spilled over for a fraction of a second on live TV, and all things came together to, for it to be a charge with the RFL. But I don't think he's got a problem with that, Dan. And none of our players have. We have some stubborn players, I know we do, and we've got some players who don't like losing. We have some players who are very, very cranky at times. But in terms of bringing the game into disrespect or doing things against the spirit of the game, I think my team's full of players who are a good example for Rugby League and Super League. I'm not going to say any more than any other team, but I'm just talking about my team. I think we've got some blokes who know how to lose and know how to win, who have got a bit of class about them, conduct themselves in the right way. I'd take my team round any school and say, this is how you should do it. Was that passion then? You wouldn't want to take that out of them?
Well, the book says use your emotion and passion and channel it in the right way. And if you can do that without swearing, and you can do it without ever getting angry, that's what the book says to do. Yeah, we don't coach by books. You don't manage by books, and this is in the world of, whether you want to go in the world of business or certainly when I was in the military, there's a form of discipline there, which means you've got to be able to do certain things which not many people would do, yet restrain yourself and make sure that emotion doesn't boil over.
takes some getting used to. It takes a lot of years to be able to hone that. So I think if that's a version of the emotions spilling over, I think we're cool with that. I know it's not great what happened, and I'm not condoning what happened, but Danny Maguire's conducting the game for years and years and years after being at the coalface of our game, especially playing for Leeds. I think he's got a fair few chips in the bank.
I thought the counter argument is that your club is a very popular one to show live on TV. There are always going to be scrutiny on it, so you've got to be careful what you say, I suppose. Is that what you've told them?
No, you're trying to make out that we've had a meeting based on Danny Maguire's incident. No, I don't need to do. They know that. Their players know that. They know what it's like wearing that badge. They know. It's hard playing for our club sometimes. It's hard being a player at our club. They're under the microscope more than most clubs. And whenever they do something, whether it be at the club or not, they get seen. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to play for the Rhinos. Not everybody wants to test themselves and say, do you know what, I'll go be a player and be the best player I can be at one of the biggest clubs. And if it goes wrong, everybody knows about it. Some people go, I don't want that. I'd rather go do something else and go play at a club where I'm under less scrutiny. So just qualifying what Magsy's gone through for the last how many years he's played for this club. He's gone through that and done an outstanding job over the years. So just one little blip. I think we're all right with this, aren't we? Are we?
I'm fine with it, as long as you are. Thank you.
Ryan, are you making any plans to deal with Ben Barber in case he gets cleared to play tomorrow?
We talked about him. But I'm not sure what he'll do tomorrow night. Obviously, we know his game and not going overboard with it.
Do you expect him to play?
Don't know. I don't know. Literally don't know.